Today the theme is outside comfort zone. We start with this mastermind in January. So it's actually a project that's outside of my comfort zone to do. The comfort zone, what I mean is like not to be in front of the camera, but actually to have consistency on doing that every month, to build that, to make that become a reality. It's really uncomfortable. Why I'm saying that? So you start to see that things that become reality that people are doing and you are also doing comes from discomfort. Everything that we imagine, we can create a metaphoric response. So we recognize our own comfort zone and why we keep inside of it. Okay, so I would like you to imagine that you are walking in a forest, suddenly you see a big hole and you get curious and you start to go inside of this hole. It starts to get dark, but now you are there inside. You start to smell bad, but you keep on that place. You keep walking and you start to get deeper. That place is smelling bad. You start to see cockroaches on the floor, some rats passing. It's getting darker and darker. And you're walking there and you see a friend of you there inside. And you look, like your friend's there, and you're like, hey man, what you doing here? And your friend say, you know, I live here now. What are you talking about? This is a dirty place. You're not supposed to be here. I remember you since the school times. You had so much energy. You said that you want to do things that you love. What happened with you? No, what can I do? I'm 20 years here in this work. What am I going to do outside? No, bro, come out. I know you. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. You should have courage to come out. Give me your hand. And your friend, no. You know, they pay me a good salary, man. You know, I have that salary. You know, I'm a saved person. What I'm going to do, I'm old. Who's going to want me? And you're like, man, I know you. I know your potential. You should be doing another kind of work, not that. But your friend don't listen to you, and it stays there. You keep going. Now it's getting more and more water. The water is here on you, smelling bad. Now you can see like a little pieces of, around. And then you see another friend. And then you see this other friend there, and you're like, hey, bro, what are you doing here? And he's like, he dived the head and come up, and say, it feels good here, man. Are you crazy? What are you doing there? What are you doing? You were always a great entrepreneur. What are you doing there? Man, the market's too hard. The market's too hard. Who am I to try to be an entrepreneur? I'm not good enough. You are really good, man. What are you doing there? Come here. Here's your place. I tried 1 time, 2 times, but nobody bought my products. I cannot go forward. It's too difficult. I'm not good enough. Man, I know you. You have such great ideas. Your place is here. Come. He gives the hand to you. He almost come, but then he say, let me stay a little bit more, just to see if things will change. And then you leave, and he stays there. And then you go, now everything is deep, stinky, dirty. You keep walking, the water's here in your forehead. You are like, and you see another friend. This friend's swimming backwards. You look at your friend, what? No, man, what's up? What are you doing here? Yeah, I live here now. Well, what are you doing with your life? What are you doing inside of this relationship? This relationship is killing you. This guy is holding you and you cannot see. This woman is holding you. You're not growing. You stay in this relationship. Why? Feels good. He hits me only 1 time per week. That's not too much. Yeah? That's not too much. I'm going to stay, at least, he's probably a lot better than the ones that are out there. He said, it's kind of nice sometimes when he don't drink. What? Come here. This is not your place. Come here. This woman is killing you, man. She's taking all your energy. Why are you letting that happen? You're not supposed to be doing that. Yeah, but I don't think nobody will want me anymore. No, your place is here. And the person stay. So, why am I telling you this story? Why do you think I'm telling this story? What is this hole?
It's a comfort zone.
Yes. This is called a comfort zone. But you see how the comfort zone is tricky? It's so tricky that you think it's good, right? The first person thought was good. No, it's good. The second thought was good. The third was like swimming in shit, accepting that life and feeling good. That is the dangerous of the comfort zone. It blinds ourselves. It blinds our standard. It blinds what we could get in life. How many of you here have seen you inside of the hole in one of these examples? Thank you for the honesty. How much more honest you are here, how much more you will get for your transformation. Because we lie to ourselves all the time. You see, these three persons, if you meet these three persons on the street, and you ask the person, hey, what's up? How are you? What do you think the person is going to say? Okay. Everything is great, man. No, it's not great. Everything is normal. It's not great. It's different. Everything is not great. Everything is normal for what you accept to be your normal. You know, every time the friend tried to ask them to come out, they always had excuses. They always had justifications to keep them inside of that place. When we cross our comfort zone, we get closer to who we really are. Because the comfort zone forces us to become better. So when we become better, we get to know who we are more deeply. You know, there is many understandings of that, but I like to take the comfort zone as a way to challenge myself to get close of who am I? What am I capable of? I want you to imagine that you're walking on the street and you met the magic genie, okay? The guy, you know, the magic. You met the magic, and then he came to you and he said to you, you know, you have one wish. You have one wish. How do you want? How do you want? I'm not asking you to think rationally. I'm asking now you to please listen to your soul, listen to who you really are, and let that answer this question. And you met the genie and said, you have only one wish. How do you want? Tell me. He's not asking, how do you think it's possible? No, no, no. He's asking, how do you want? And then you're going to answer to the genie, how do you want? How do you want your life? Okay, what and how do you want? Okay? So why did I ask you to think about, you know, what do you want? There is a purpose with that, okay? So first, I told you a story about this hole, you know, and that there is a lot of persons stuck in that hole. And I don't know if you notice, you probably noticed that many of those persons were feeling really, really happy in that situation. They were feeling really, really happy with bad work, something that they hate, but they're feeling comfortable inside of the shit, let's say like that. Then other person that had a lot of dreams, a lot of talent, were feeling comfort in not achieving that. We're feeling comfort accepting whatever it came. And then we saw another person that was in a destructive relationship and it was feeling okay. So this means that that place, it's called the comfort zone. Why? The comfort zone is not our friend. So many times the trick with the comfort zone is that many times you feel good inside of the shit. Okay? That is a huge trick of the comfort zone. Why? Because if you understand how the brain works, you will see that makes sense. You know why? First of all, our brain has a way and a hierarchy of functioning. Okay? So I will tell you about the hierarchy soon. So now we know that the comfort zone is a shit. The only way to take us from the comfort zone it's to know what we want in the future. That's why I brought the genie here, so you could have a vision of the future, so you could drive yourself to something. Or if you don't have a driving force that can inspire you to move forward, a vision of the future, you're gonna stay in the shit. Understand what I mean? So now you know that the comfort zone, it's tricky, it's not good, even that it seems to feel good. Now I asked you to answer the genie, and the genie probably, you answered to the genie something of the future, a vision of the future that you want. And now you need to know how to start walking towards that. And that's the next step. To start walking towards that, you need to understand how your brain works, so you can dominate your brain to take you to that place that you described to the genie. You have to communicate with your brain, telling your brain specifically, that's how I want. And if you have like, the number and how many people and the location, that makes easy for you to cross the comfort zone. The brain needs you more concrete. How much more you put your dream to be concrete and you can narrow it, you'll be easier for you to cross the comfort zone. So now you know what you want, and now you need to understand why we don't cross the comfort zone, why it's so hard. First, we need to understand that the brain works in hierarchy of 3, okay? Top hierarchy for the brain, it's survival. It's a hierarchy. Everything, it's survival. Our job is to make ourselves happy. It's not our brain. Our brain don't do that for us. It's our job. As Hamada was saying, you were saying like, I decide to make it. But if you're going to wait for your brain will be like, no, man, you stay here. Okay? So the first hierarchy is security in the sense of survival. Our brain will always take you out. So you try to cross the comfort and you take you out. Number 2, it's comfort. Why? The second, it's saving energy. Our brain will do everything to save energy. Let me give you a concrete example. How was it when you start driving? Was it easy? First day? No, it was really hard for all of us. I remember that I was like, man, how can I do 8 things at the same time? Drive, look here, do the thing. It was so hard. But now what happened is that our brain get that, put that in a place that's called comfort. It's a comfort now. Now that becomes easy for us, So our brain is a comfort machine. So that happens the same thing when we try to cross the comfort zone. Every time you try to do something different, your brain will ask it, is it in the comfort box? No, it's not in the comfort box. So you will not get stimulated to do. You will not get stimulated to do because it will be first scary because you don't know it's new. And it will be second, it's going to take a lot of energy until that thing becomes a habit. So every time you try to cross, you will need to be deliberate about your thinking. And now we know that our brain works in layers of hierarchy. First hierarchy, it's always trying to, protect us, survival. Second, it's saving energy. Number 3, it's pleasure. We're not going to get to pleasure today. Think about in your life now, forget the car, another example, that it was hard for you and now it's easy, okay? Something that was like, shit, this was so hard and I thought I would never do, and now it's so easy, I can teach somebody.
I always hated running, but somehow I get through it, and I challenge myself to run my first half marathon. So that was actually a thing that I always thought that I will never do it, and so I trained for it and I ran it for quite a good time.
So what did you do? Because one day you didn't believe it was possible, and now you can. So what did you do?
Well, I think the key is to be consistent, and you want to get better at something, you have to repeat it, and finally you get the best from yourself.
So easy, it's easy, right?
I used to have a speech impediment and like a stutter, and it was really hard for me to communicate. Mm-hmm. And I went to speech therapy for a few years and everything, and now I ended up becoming a professional communicator. I feel like it's a huge accomplishment that I really feel proud of. And I still obviously struggle.
Try to describe to me inside, what did you do to achieve that?
I think it was a constant struggle with my fears and my insecurities to say, no, I can do this. I mean, it's hard, but I can still do this. And And yeah, because I still struggle with the idea, because I still speak really fast, and it's hard for people to understand what I'm saying. But I just keep saying, like, yeah, I can do this. It's fine. Like, it's scary, but it's fine.
Does everybody understood what I was doing here? Everybody understood what I want to show you here? What happened? Yes? What happened is that we all already have the resources that we already use it for something, that we already achieved. So this is actually that's something that we work a lot with neuro-linguistic programming. We work by accessing resources that already gave us results, so we can use in a different situation that just change the situation. So a lot of you here were describing to me your success strategies. Okay, so Pavlina just described her success strategy of how, you're not runner and then suddenly you become a runner. She had one strategy that made her go out of her comfort zone so she could achieve that one day. So Pavlina, what you can do is, like, everything that you have in the future that's challenging, you can go back and access the same strategy and apply it to the new thing. So you can use that to cross your comfort zone in different situations, okay? Because you already have inside of you. This is something you have. It's not me saying, you just told everybody. Understand what I mean? Aurora, that had like a stunning problem, and she was like repeating to herself, I can do that, I can do that, I can do that, I can do that. And then she was doing. So she had her own strategy inside of her to make her achieve something. We all are like, let's say, computers. We have our own strategy of success that already worked, and we can use that in our next vision that I asked you to see. When you talk to the genie and you see, how can I get that? You can now access this information that you have inside of you that's successful to take you to the place that you want.